But man, Shamik Moore, he's doing some stuff.
He needs
and I
to
might like him
Shamik
more.
less.
Hello, welcome to the first ever episode of Hero Huddle. This is a podcast where I, Tomahawk,
I, Stu,
and I, Tristen.
We take a look at the nerd news of the week and we do little jokes and goofs about it. At least that's what the show is going to be. But this being our first episode, instead of talking about the news itself, I figured it would be a good chance to sort of get to know us and get to know what our thoughts are on sort of nerd culture. So we're going to have a few episodes here at the start of our show. So probably 1, 2, 3, then we'll start talking about more up-to-date news stuff where we are going to discuss sort of rating various like film franchises and universes. What we are doing today is we have taken the Marvel Cinematic Universe and we have each rated our movies. We've each taken the list. We have given them a rating out of 100. I have compiled those ratings and averaged them out. And now they don't know what the official order is of our show, the official rankings. And we're going to see if there's anything that surprises us in this ranked list.
I'm never surprised.
I don't know. We're going to try and keep this first episode pretty short, but so I'm sure there's going to be some where we're like, yeah, that makes sense for that movie. It's a pretty medium movie. We gave it all a pretty medium score.
Yeah.
So if there is a entry that you want to talk about, feel free to, be like, hey, wait a second, something's amiss here. Something seems lower, something seems high. Also, we were not able to hit everything, but we definitely tried. So
yeah.
There's a few Disney Plus series that I didn't quite have the time to do the math for and put into the ranked list. So here we are.
I didn't get to watch Captain America Serpent Society. I missed that one. So
look, I might lose my nerd card for this, but I didn't watch it either.
That's
Tristan's
crazy.
going to have to tell us everything we need to know about it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's bold.
Yeah.
But before we jump in, I
I
think
love that show.
before we actually do the list, I was like, I sure was talking for a while at the start. I want to hear more about you guys. Tristen, can you tell me just some of your favorite nerd things?
Oh boy, I'm looking at a wall dedicated to Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is one of my favorite nerd things.
All right. Who's your favorite Spider-Man actor?
Toby.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Stu, what about you? Is there any particular corner of nerddom that you're like, yes, this is one of my favorite spots to live in? What are just
I
some
really
things you
like not necessarily it's kind of break away from more comic booky stuff, but like your Lord of the Rings and Star Warsy stuff. I like that. Drake Bell is my favorite Spider-Man.
Nice.
I'm Tomahawk. I love Marvel stuff, especially. That's probably my favorite thing. Yeah. Are we ready to jump into the list?
Wait, who's your favorite Spider-Man?
My favorite Spider-Man is Miles Morales because I'm progressive.
Who's your favorite Miles Morales voice actor?
Donald Glover.
Okay, good. That's the right answer.
But man, Shamik Moore, he's doing some stuff.
He needs
and I
to
might like him
Shamik
more.
less.
All right. Let's jump over to it.
All right.
Do we want to start from the bottom or the top? Do we want the movies to get worse or do we want them to get better as we go?
What if we did like a middle outward? Or is that too much to ask?
That's too much to ask, I think.
Okay. I think we should do worst to best.
Worst to best.
I think our worst is going to be very decisive. Decisive. Our middle should probably be close to the same. And then our tops should probably be a mix of divisive and same, I think.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty good.
All right. So we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. All right. Are there any guesses as to what we think our lowest rated movie is? I think Stu really, you really kind of messed up the rating like scale. You swung to like the far ends. Like Tristen, I don't know what your lowest rating was. I think it may have been a 30. Stu's lowest rating was a 4.
And that's deserved. That's a deserved 4. Honestly.
I'm assuming we're all talking about the same movie, right?
We are talking about Ant-Man Quantumania.
Bad movie.
That's a bad movie.
It's a bad film in every way. It's not even so bad it's good.
No.
It's just bad.
Just bad. Did not like it.
If I could give it a 0, I would.
Mm-hmm.
But I got free tickets, so it gets a 4.
All right. Fair enough. So next up, we at that. Oh, by the way, got a 39.33.
Okay. Before we move on,
yeah.
What were your scores for that one?
You gave a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Tristen gave it 56, and I gave it a 58.
56.
Yeah.
Why'd y'all give it so high?
I don't look. I can see what's happening in it. I can hear it. There's I can understand the dialogue.
There's a foundation there. It's easy to kind of see, or not easy, but it's possible to see what could have been.
I'm rating this on the scale of like all movies ever made, not just in the MCU. Look, like compared to movies like a Neil Breen movie or The Room, Quantumania is technically more competent.
Okay, so like your 50s, is that like average? Like is 50 like an average movie? Like it's fine, or is that like more of like a 70 for you? You're like it was okay.
A 7. We'll discover that.
Fine.
We'll discover more, I think, of what our individual rating systems are. But I will say Quantumania at 58 was my lowest rated movie. That's the lowest score I gave.
Okay.
Yeah, my ratings are like.
Go ahead.
Like I just kind of view it as like a test score. So it's like if I got like a 72 on a test, it's not bad, but it's not amazing. It's just I passed.
Yeah.
But if you get a 50, you failed, but you didn't like.
We probably should have made that clear when I did my ratings. Huh?
No, I love this. I love how we swung. All right, so next up, at a 40.3, we have Thor: The Dark World. This is another one where Stu gave it a 9 out of 100.
Deserved, honestly.
Tristen gave it a 40, and I gave it a 72.
72.
Yeah,
72. Wow.
I don't hate
you
this
liked it
movie.
You liked it that much more than Quantumania.
I do. I hate Quantumania, and
so do I. If it wasn't obvious,
I gave it a 58, and I hate it. So 72 is a pretty big jump for me.
Yeah.
After that, oh my God, it's Thor again. It's Thor: Love and Thunder with a 55.0. Stu gave it a 55. Tristen gave it a 30. There it is. And I gave it an 80.
Yeah. I felt it was fine.
Crazy.
Yeah. I felt it was fine. 55, a little above average, you know?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Because in my mind, like 50, anything under 60 is like, oh, this is garbage.
Yeah.
No, I literally went like 50 is average. You know?
Yeah. All right. And after that, at a 56.6, we have Iron Man 3. Stu gave this a 12. Tristen gave it an 85, and I gave it a 73.
85 is so high.
By the way, if Stu didn't have that low number in there and it was just averaging me and Tristan's score out, it'd be a 79.
What does it have on Rotten Tomatoes?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's a bad movie. It's not good.
It's not my favorite movie by a long way.
They took arguably Iron Man's most important villain and did nothing important with it.
Agreed.
There's not a lot of Marvel movies where I left the cinema feeling angry.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 3 was one of those for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Me too. Yep.
It's enjoyable. I don't hate it, but I also was very let down in the theater. I was like, oh, they're really going this route.
It's kind of a mess in a bad way. If it was like not an Iron Man movie and it was like an Iron Man ripoff, I might be more kind to it, but there's a lot of stuff.
Tungsten Dude or something like that.
Tungsten Dude.
Yeah.
Metal Man.
Next up at a 57.6, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. Stu gave this a 45. Tristen gave this a 60, and I gave it a 68.
Yeah, this is a below average movie.
Yeah. For me, all of the Ant-Man movies were in my bottom 5.
I don't think mine was, but Ant-Man 1, I think, is enjoyable. So it's a little bit higher than the rest of them.
I don't like Ant-Man 1. I think it's boring. It feels like a TV movie with a big budget. I was talking. Go ahead.
You didn't like Darren?
I think Darren's okay. My biggest issue with it, I've touched on this before, is that Scott Lang's character arc is lacking. I think the movie would be like, I'd give it like a full letter grade up if at the beginning of the movie he's actually like a skeezy like criminal. He's not like this Robin Hood thief. He's just this guy that's like out for himself. Or at the very least, he's stealing money to like put towards his like daughter's college fund or something like that. But Ant-Man 2, it's the most expensive filler episode I've ever seen.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. Makes sense.
All right. So we are now leaving the 50s. We are now at 65.33. We have Captain Marvel. Stu gave this 45. Tristen gave this a 72. And I gave it a 79.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. A little bit below average.
Nothing crazy.
Yep.
After that, we have at 67.36, Eternals. Stu gave this a 66. Tristen gave this a 58. I gave it a 78.1.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate it for any of the reasons the internet hated it. So
yeah, I'm still surprised how much the internet hated this movie. Like, it's not great, but it's a long way from like a Quantumania level like bomb.
Yeah, absolutely.
To me, it was just boring. I think that's the biggest thing. It's just kind of like I fell asleep, and for me to fall asleep during a Marvel movie says a lot.
It's kind of fair though, because like it is an origin film for like 7 people, and you're just like, dang, you got to introduce me to like all these people, and only like 5 of them are going to matter, or maybe even 5 of them are going to matter. You know, going down the line. Ugh, crazy.
Yeah, I guess on our scale, I'd put it like bad with good stuff, because it's not all bad. You know, there's some cool stuff in there.
It's not all bad. No, I liked it. I think it suffered from like generic monster syndrome, though.
Suffers from that. I will say I like the third act of this movie.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. And the sort of like twist with
Icarus.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah. The sort of twist with him that worked for me in the theater. I was like, oh, I didn't think they would do that. Not in the first movie. Yeah. That's interesting. But
a good twist.
What I was saying before about like the Ant-Man not having a character arc, the protagonist of this movie is Cersei, who doesn't have like a very strong character arc. You could say that like she's coming into her own as like the leader of the Eternals, I guess. But I don't think it's strong enough to be like the sort of core of the film.
I don't think so either. I
think most people wouldn't be able to tell that she changed over the course of it.
Yeah.
But they sure did have a sex scene in it, didn't they?
It was definitely a PG-13 PG-13 sex scene. I think it was PG-13. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh well.
At 68 even, we have the Incredible Hulk. Stu gave this a 62. Tristen gave this a 40, and I gave it a 65.
Yeah.
I gave it a 40.
You gave that a 40. That's crazy.
Sounds kind of low.
That's really low for y'all scales.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a chance I made a mistake. I was trying to rush through all these numbers that I got, recently. And I was working on compiling this list right up until we started recording.
Yeah.
So, but there's a chance I goofed. But guess what? I hate this movie and I don't care.
Wait, what'd you give it again?
I gave it a 65.
Oh, okay.
So it's in my
that's
bottom.
Not that bad.
You like. It seems like you liked it more than Tristen did.
Yeah, honestly, I like that movie. Like, I like it more than that. I wouldn't say I hate it. So I was like, 40 sounds a little. I don't know. I've rewatched that movie so many times.
Maybe Stu gave it a 40.
I mean, I have the receipts. We posted them here in Discord. I can scroll like real quick because it should be at like the top of my list.
All right.
I gave it a 62.
Okay.
Yeah. And I only have like the second half of Tristan's list.
Let me see. Tristen sent me his list over text, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
Maybe I was rushing, and I just like, man, 40.
Yeah. You're probably rushing because, like, I don't think that The Incredible Hulk is necessarily like a bad movie in any way, but like they definitely do things that like up until recently just never paid off. Like they never had any payoff for what's his name, Mastermind or whatever, like for decades. The leader, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Leader.
Big brain.
They didn't have like any payoff for that for like over a decade.
Crazy.
To the point where I forgot about him, but like I don't know. I think like it's the Hulk's like cool in it. Like I think he's like the best version of Hulk we've gotten since. Like
I disagree with that.
I think he just seems a lot more monstrous and hulky than the Mark Buffalo ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at some points it feels almost like a horror film, which is something that makes sense for a Hulk movie.
So with the actual numbers that you guys gave me, I went back to verify. So I got the average right, but I guess in moving it, the individual scores over, Tristan's score got messed up. I don't know how that happened. But our scores did come out to 68.
Okay.
Our real scores.
Okay. So, and you gave it a what, Tomahawk?
I gave it a 65 and Tristen gave it a 77.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Okay. So after that, at 70.06,
we're in the letter grades.
Captain America, the First Avenger.
That's the most 70 movie ever. Like 70 is perfect.
It's one of the movies of all time.
Yeah.
See, I disagree with this. I think that this is a much higher movie. So the scores for this, they range a lot higher. Stu gave this a 50.
Yeah.
Tristen gave this a 74. That's why he's like, oh yes, 70 makes sense. I gave it an 89.2.
Wow. 89.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I think this movie has aged well. I think it is a good movie. I love the relationship between Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter. I think there's a lot of good stuff in this movie. The third act falls apart a little bit, but I think the ending really sticks the landing.
One of the things I heard online, or I read online, they were talking about one of the issues with the movie was the weird, like, past World War II feel with like CGI. It's a weird mesh, and it makes things look weird. And I maybe that's what it is that's kind of throwing me off about it. Also, there's like futuristic weapons in the past So maybe it's just kind of confusing. I don't know. It's just kind of like there's a lot going on.
I think that's just like a media literacy issue for them, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it is the Marvel past. And
Yeah.
like, if anything, in the comics,
Yeah.
World War II was so much weirder than the first Avenger. It
Yeah.
is. At the time this movie came out, and I saw it, I was like kind of thrown back by the technology that like the villains had in it.
Mhm.
I was like, okay. I've seen like documentaries about World War II. That's not in it.
Yeah.
But
No.
so it is. I understand that it feels weird, and that's why I think it feels better on a rewatch now, where you're like, oh yeah, the universe was always this weird.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
like, so we got more to go. All right,
Yeah.
Stu, are you ready? Because now
I'm
we're
here.
talking. We're talking about Ant-Man 1
Ah,
that
Ant-Man
has
1.
a 71.33. Stu,
Yeah.
you gave this a 70.
I did.
Tristan gave this an 80, and I gave this a 64.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's a pretty decent movie. I like it not a lot, but I mean, definitely the best Ant-Man movie, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't like it, and I'm like, yeah.
It's a low bar to be better
Yeah.
than the Ant-Man movies, the rest of them. Do you guys think Ant-Man would have gone over better if it was Hank Pym and they had started it like for Avengers?
Hmm.
I think it would give the universe more to do. But I don't know if necessarily like that makes it better or worse. Maybe.
Let me pitch it to you a little bit.
Okay.
You have
I'm ready.
Ant-Man movie.
Mhm.
Boom. He has his movie phase 1. Avengers movie comes out. You don't necessarily go Giant Man right away. You don't have to. You can save that for phase 2 if you want, like how they dropped it during Captain America Civil War. But also, maybe they should have picked a bigger movie to drop that. Maybe that should have been like your Ultron, rather than Civil War. Who knows? Anyway, so you have that. You have the option to throw in Giant Man for the Avengers 1 movie. Cool. Awesome. Leading into comic accurate Hank Pym helping create Ultron to fix that little blurb that a lot of people complained about going into Age of Ultron.
Because Ant-Man had been in development for a long time, and he was originally going to be in Avengers, but like the development of the movie ended up taking too long, and they had to like push it back. So making it Hank Pym, I don't think would make him there for Avengers 1 or for Age of Ultron. I think if we want to play in this sandbox, we need to just assume it would come out when it did. Would you keep not Scott Lang, would you keep Paul Rudd as Hank Pym, or who would you cast as Hank Pym? A young
Larry David.
Bernie Sanders?
So if I'm thinking about like in my ideal MCU, they could have kept the original Hulk actor from Incredible Hulk, kept him as Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, Hank Pym.
Okay.
Younger, but a smart guy because he's Bruce Banner. He has that smart, kind of feel to him already. Hank Pym, super great,
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought to do that. I've been thinking a lot about the Ant-Man movies because I want to fix them. I've been thinking about doing a video essay on trying to fix them.
Do it.
Something that I would like to have seen in Ant-Man 1 is, like, I already mentioned it before, that Scott Lang is like he's like a criminal, a real criminal at the start of the movie. And like, he actually is disposable to Hank Pym, and that's why he has him. He's just like, I don't care if you die.
Yeah.
Because as it stands, it's kind of weird that Hank Pym is being that callous with a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
He did lose his wife,
Yeah. But something that I think would have made the movie a bit more interesting is Scott's only able to shrink, but Yellow Jacket, Darren Cross, should be able to grow and shrink to make him a more intimidating villain.
But he has lasers, and he can
does
fly.
have lasers.
Yeah,
but
he does have lasers. But he did get hit by a train.
He got hit by a train.
Yeah, he
Thomas
sure
the
did.
Train.
Yeah, what a great movie. Can I change my score? I'm just kidding.
Give this 1 million out of 10. All right, enough on Ant-Man. I'm sick of him. I hate him. Nah, he's all right. His movies are bad though. So
great.
next up, we have Iron Man 2. It has a 71.4. So just barely better than Ant-Man 1. That had a 71.33.
Yeah.
All right, so Stu, you gave this a 50.
I did.
50.
Yeah.
I gave this a 79.2. And Tristan, you gave this an 85.
I thought back on it because originally I was going to give it like a 35.
Really?
Oh my Lord.
Really. I just felt like Whiplash was such a throwaway villain for this movie for the most part.
Yeah.
That I kind of got upset with that. I also got upset that Elon Musk is in the movie. But then I put my prejudices aside and I was like, well, they did drop Black Widow in the movie and it was pretty cool. Like that was before the CGI got too funky for me. So like the Iron Man suits still look good. All the AI robot suits look good. Whiplash looks good. I mean, like, okay. It's a good looking movie. It has a lot of good parts in it. Perhaps I judged you too harshly. 50. There you go. One of the movies of all time.
Fun fact. Do you guys know how old Scarlett Johansson was when she was in this movie?
27.
Tristan? Take a swing.
Yeah, I'll say about the same. 28, 27.
She was 24.
Wow.
We were close.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I think it's nuts that she was that young when she joined on this.
That is
It's
crazy.
also kind of nutty because like I thought she was in a lot more stuff before this, which she still could have been through being 24. I mean, you can start as young as you can in Hollywood, but
she was a child actor.
Yeah.
So she has been in a lot.
Yeah.
She was in Home Alone 3.
It's crazy.
3.
Yeah, Home Alone 3.
Our president was in Home Alone 2.
It's true, unfortunately. I hate that he's in that movie. Every time I'm like, oh, great. Now Home Alone 2 is political.
Ah, man.
Here we go. Yeah.
Newsflash, it always has been.
Well, yeah. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Any more thoughts on Iron Man 2?
Yeah, I've always liked this movie. Like I remember when I first saw it, I was like, when did it come out? Was it 09? 2010? Something like that?
2010. I think it's 2010.
Oh,
yeah.
I have it here. 2010.
Yeah, I remember really liking it a lot. And when I heard like everyone didn't, I was like, why? Like I remember like so many people didn't like it. And I thought War Machine was so cool. And like having them together, like they fought, which is really cool. In the suitcase, like suit up scene, chef's
Pretty cool.
kiss.
Because
Yeah.
that was like the show. I mean, it was really cool. That's why I gave it a higher score.
I mean, there's some cool stuff like the scene where let's see, like Rhodey is like following Tony and they're like, you know, all those bots are chasing them and stuff. Like there's some cool stuff. But I mean, Tomahawk talks about this where it has that same like recipe of, oh, the villain is just a bigger version of the hero. And a lot of superhero movies have that problem. So I see the flaws.
Well, that's what they did in Iron Man 1 as well. They just had Stain in his really big Iron Man suit. And then the Hulk fought Abomination, which is a bigger Hulk.
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely a plague of that kind of villain stuff going on.
That's fair. And I just pitched that Ant-Man 1 should have done the same thing.
Imagine this. Ant-Man, but bigger.
What kind of ants have you been studying?
Right.
All right. Next up at 74.8, we have Thor 1. Tristan gave this a 79. Stu gave it a 60. I gave it an 85.4.
That's high. Good Lord. It puts me to sleep.
I see why.
Yeah. It puts me to sleep. Tilted camera hurts my neck. Man, bad experience.
I understand those complaints. I do. That's why it's not higher. But I do like it. I think Thor has a good arc in it. I think it's a solid movie. I do think his eyebrows are weird.
Very.
Anyway,
somehow this is higher than Thor 1
against all odds.
I look, Thor 1's not my favorite. But I am baffled that the next 4 movies are ranked higher than it. Black Widow.
Oof.
A movie that Stu hasn't seen.
I was going to say, because I probably would have given that like a 30 or a 40 and it would have brought it right back down.
Yeah. Because so I just averaged out Tristen and my score. Tristen had a 72. I had a 78. So it came out to 75.
Okay.
So Black Widow's there.
Yeah.
At 76.05, we have The Marvels. Another movie Stu didn't see.
I thought that was a show.
Nope. This is Captain Marvel 2.
Was Miss wait.
Ms. Marvel is a show.
Oops.
Tristan gave this a 75. I gave this a 77.1. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. Yeah. It's not the worst thing. It's just kind of a mess.
It's just mid. Yeah, it's just mid.
Yeah, it probably would have been like the 50s or 60s if I had seen it then. Yeah.
Probably.
Like if it came out on Disney Plus, like a Disney Plus original, that would have been fine.
Yeah, I have thoughts on it, but we're still pretty low on the list. And I want to move along. All right. After this, we have Captain America: Brave New World at 77. Stu and Tristan both gave this an 80. And I gave it a 71.
Criminal.
I honestly think that might be high. I did not like this movie.
I was going to say it's higher than I thought.
It's better than every movie we've listed so far.
Yeah, I think that this is a well-directed, poorly scripted movie.
It just needed some Hulk in there, some actual like Mark Ruffalo Hulk.
Yeah,
and it would have been 100 for me.
What if it was Ed Norton Hulk?
Oh, 104.
Okay. So next up, we have Multiverse of Madness at 79. Stu gave this an 80. Tristan gave this a 77, and I gave it an 80.2.
That's interesting because I think I ranked this higher than the first Doctor Strange for me.
Next up, we have Doctor Strange 1.
Oh, wow.
At 81.66. Stu gave this an 85, so yes, he did. Tristan gave it a 77, which is the exact same score as Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And I gave this one an 83.
Yeah.
780.
Fair, so. I think it's like a good movie. Liked it a lot.
I don't know what it is about. I like Doctor Strange as a character, but his movies to me are just okay. And I don't know what it is. Like he does cool stuff. I remember when I first saw the trailer for Doctor Strange 1, I was like, oh, this looks so cool. And then after leaving the theater, I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think Doctor Strange 1 is one of these movies that really suffers from the Marvel humor. Like, there's that one little gag where he's fighting someone in the astral plane and like they knock like a bag of chips out of a vending machine and somebody comes back and grabs the bag of chips. There's the bit where his cloak starts like wiping away his tears and he's like, stop. I'm like, these jokes.
I think that's really funny, actually.
I don't think they made me laugh, but I don't think they make the movie better. I think they make the movie worse for being there, even though they made me laugh, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
Like, I think Doctor Strange should be a more seriously minded character. I think there's a difference between characters making jokes and the movie making jokes, if that makes sense. And like
it makes sense.
The gag with the chips is the movie making a joke instead of a character. And yeah, I don't love that. that kind of humor for these more serious characters.
I think again, I'm not much of like a comics guy, but from what I've seen of like other media for Doctor Strange, like some comics and some like video game stuff, is never him making like the punchline or anything like that. Is usually like he's very serious, but like he keeps having to deal with goofball characters, like your Spider-Man, Moon Knight, Squirrel Girl kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's like a lot of like the like humor value comes from his presence, is where he's like very like straight arrow, and then all my friends are goofballs.
Yeah. And that is not the dynamic in this movie. And I think it's a little worse for
He doesn't have any friends in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I was talking about this with one of my friends, and
You have friends
I'm
that aren't
trying
us?
no,
Tristen, are
they
you
were
cheating on
imaginary.
us?
They're
Okay,
imaginary.
okay,
Yeah,
good.
don't worry. No, you're good. And it's interesting that to think about, like, if you look back to like the Tobey Maguire movies, right, Spider-Man movies, or even like the early 2000s Marvel movies, those were more, to me, they felt more like action dramas.
Yeah.
And they had jokes in there, like sprinkled in. And then you look at the MCU, and I would say for a lot of the first phase, at least the first half of the first phase, they were more action drama with jokes sprinkled in.
Yeah.
And then eventually they became just like action comedies.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out where that happened, because Doctor Strange, for example, he doesn't need those jokes in there. Like, they can be sprinkled in, but they don't need to have like, it doesn't need to be like a action comedy like the rest of the Marvel movies. Like, I think that's kind of my issue with Tom Holland's Spider-Man trilogy, is that they are so funny. It's like, it's cool, but that's why I like Tobey's more, because they're like, they take the character way more seriously.
Yeah. But Spider-Man's a goofy character, though.
He is
This
a
is
goofy
true.
character. And I do think the comedy, whenever Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is trying to be like
Quippy.
quippy, which is one of the characters that should be, he does a very bad job at it. He feels so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I constantly think about when he's like, "You're out, Gobby, out of your mind."
Is that bad 2001 writing, I think?
Yeah.
It's just like, ooh.
It's just like, ugh.
He just,
I don't know. I think Tom
quips.
or Andrew could have made that line work more, but
He did have some good ones though, like when he was fighting against the wrestler Bonesaw.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He makes the gay joke.
He's like, nice leotard, your husband make it for you, or something like that. Like, that's
That
like
is,
a classic Spider-Man quip right there, just mid battle. So good, but then they
he would
just
be
don't really
canceled
do anything
so
else like
fast
that.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'd be like,
think-
yes, my husband did make this for me, actually.
I think, I don't know if it's like the way he's written, but I feel like Tobey Spider-Man, if like the way he like delivers jokes, it feels like if a nerdy kid tried to be funny.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. Because like he just quips like a dad. Like, there's that scene in Spider-Man 3 where he meets Sandman on the bank truck, and he's like, "Oh, I guess you haven't heard. I'm the sheriff around these parts." Like, a 20-something-year-old would not say that.
I feel like I
don't
have
know.
said that.
Yeah. He also, Tobey Maguire was like 24, 25 when they did his movie, his first one. So like,
Yeah.
you know, he's a full-on adult at that time.
There will
Right.
come a day where we cover the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Today's not that day.
Yeah, we got so much more to go through. His movies are not in this list.
No, unfortunately. They should be.
One day,
We
in
can
the
do like
future?
a pre-MCU list.
but yeah, that's in the future. Let us know if there's something
Stay
in particular
tuned.
you want us to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So after Doctor Strange, which was again 81.66. This is where like I started actually needing to pay attention to what the like decimals were, because we had 81.73, which was, any guesses? What's an 81 movie? What's roughly the same quality as Doctor Strange?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
You have a list. You could just name one.
I guess you're right.
That's right. It's Avengers Infinity War.
Really?
No,
That's Age of Ultron.
it is
It's
Age
gotta
of
be-
Ultron.
It's gotta be
Age of
Age of
Ultron.
Ultron. Yeah.
Oh. I don't
That makes
remember
sense.
my rating for that.
You put 75.
Really? That seems low for me. But okay.
Tristan gave it an 87. I gave it an 83.2.
Mhm.
Which, yeah, this is another one of those movies where I like it. It feels like it aged better because you can
Mhm.
watch it now and be like, all this stuff, all the seeds it was planting have like paid off by now. And you're like, oh yeah, that was in here the whole time, huh?
Mhm. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
you really think about it, they really dropped the ball on that whole Ultron thing, you know?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It's not a great
Crazy.
movie, but it's not awful. I feel like
Yeah.
at the time people were rating it lower than they would now. But I
Yeah.
also like that it has a distinctive color grade from the other Avengers movies.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's divisive in the color grading community, but
Mhm.
Sure.
I
we
like
believe
it.
Yeah, the Hulk, his CGI peaked here.
Absolutely. That scene at the beginning where the hey big guy, sun's getting real low.
Yeah.
Like when she touches his hand, that might be my favorite bit of CGI in this universe.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Looks great.
That looks so good. So after that, we have at 82.36, Spider-Man Far From Home.
Cool.
Stu gave this a 75. Tristan gave it an 87. I gave it an 85.1. Also, quick note on my decimals, because my individual scores have decimals in them. The way that I did this is if I gave initially I just gave every movie a solid like non-decimal score. But if two movies got the same score, so if I had two 88s or whatever, I would rank them by just adding, one would be 88.0 and the next one that I like just a little bit more would be 88.1.
Okay.
That's what that is.
I see. I did not do that.
Yeah. We all had our own system.
Mhm.
Yeah. Far From Home, it's fine.
I think they did the best they could do with Mysterio.
Yeah, I really like
Absolutely.
Mysterio in this,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah. I think they did really good for how Mysterio is just as like a villain, I guess.
Mhm.
I was not convinced he was dead at the end, but he was.
He might not be.
That's the whole thing. He's Mysterio.
Yeah, this is a Marvel universe. He can pop up whenever.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Didn't bring him back for No Way Home, that's for sure.
Yeah, that video of him is in there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sick of talking about Far From Home.
I'm sure.
I want to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming, which
Okay.
got an 82.66 instead of the 82.36.
Wow.
We gave these such a close score.
I think it's for the same reason. They're both decent movies, but they did like really well with Vulture, I thought. For being the Vulture. Yeah. It's good for them. They took two like, not one of his like least known villains or anything like that, but like they didn't go straight to Green Goblin or anything like that for their movies.
Right.
Like that takes some nuts to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like comic wise, what does the Vulture do?
Steals things and tries to like cure his like old age.
Because does he have any powers? It's just the wingsuit, right?
Wingsuit.
Wingsuit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So they took a character who kind of sucks and they were like, all right,
Whoa, that's hot.
we got
That's
to
a
make him
hot take
cool.
there. Be careful.
But
Vulture?
like that's the thing about like Spider-Man's like villains is that a lot of them are just like regular guys who have
In a suit.
like in a suit. Like the only one with any and it's very arguable like whatever you're reading, because like sometimes Green Goblin does have like some power, like some strength, like added to him, but like usually he's just a dude who's on a glider who throws pumpkins.
And just crazy.
Yeah, it's nutty.
He's a crazy guy.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of dudes in animal suits.
He's got the lizard, though, who is just like an actual animal.
He's an actual lizard and a guy made of sand. I mean, His rogues gallery kind of sucks.
That's insane. Spider-Man has a great rogues gallery. What are you talking about?
No, not sucks as in they're bad. It's just like kind of goofy, you know?
Yeah. I mean, every comic book character has a goofy rogues gallery.
Yeah.
Batman fights a clown regularly.
Yeah, but like
if you want to break it down
clown,
like this,
you know? Like it's like the Vulture, like for most of Spider-Man's fights with the Vulture, it's like Spider-Man's flying a kite. Because the Vulture's trying to fly away, he's just trying to hold the Vulture back. It's goofy.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep going with Batman then. What's more intimidating? The Vulture or the Penguin? Just based off the name.
If it's the Dane DeVito Penguin, the Penguin by far. That dude was a freak.
He bites noses off.
Yeah, that dude's a freak, actually.
And he has flippers for hands.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me because, like, when I heard about when they were doing the new Penguin stuff for the Batman, when they were casting that, I was like, Danny DeVito would be a good Penguin. I was like, oh, wait.
He already did. He's also like 80, so
yeah.
Dude, yeah, he's old.
Yeah, he's on the way out. Unfortunately, we're gonna see his name in the newspaper soon.
We'll see.
My God,
right.
I'm calling my shot. Danny DeVito 2025.
The size of the coffin. Okay, I'm done.
He's a child size.
At 84.03, we have Shang-Chi.
I feel like that's a little low.
You gave
I think Tomahawk's the only one that didn't like this movie.
You say it's a little low at 84.03, but Stu, you gave this an 85.
I thought y'all would go higher. But also you got to remember though, like 50's average for me. So like 85 is really high for me.
That's pretty high, yeah.
Stu, you did give movies 100.
I did, yes, correct. And they deserve it.
It is not really high for you.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I gave this a 79.1. Tristen gave this an 88, and Stu gave it an 85.
I would have given it a 90 had Awkwafina not been in the movie.
Interesting.
You don't like her black accent?
No, I hate it. I don't like her as an actress at all.
She
just plays the same person and everything.
Same thing in every movie. Doesn't do a voice. Doesn't like try anything new. It's the same character every time. I hate Kung Fu Panda 4. Next movie.
Well said.
I feel like a lot of people really like Shang-Chi, but I am in the minority. I'm like, I rated this, I think, lower than Captain Marvel.
Wow.
Which I know is a hot take.
Yeah.
Every time people are like, but the bus scene in Shang-Chi. I'm like, yeah, it's a good scene. I don't like the rest of the movie very much, though. There's a whole 2 hours after it.
True. That is like the beginning of the movie. And like the rest of the movie does have Awkwafina in it. So I'm just like, dang, this is rough. Good thing I really love martial arts movies. Like that was like the kind of stuff my dad and I used to watch when I was a kid all the time. Like the poorly dubbed over straight from China, like on VHS tape movies. Like that's what we had. And I loved them. They were so good.
Biggest issue one of my friends has with this movie is in the third act, Awkwafina learns how to use a bow in like an hour. And she gets like the winning shot on killing the big monster or whatever. And he was like, all right. He's like, dude, I can turn my brain off for a movie, but that took me out of it 100%.
Awkwafina, if you're watching this, please retire. You would do us all a great service if you just stopped.
Just hang it up.
Awful.
Awkwafina, just keep doing what you're doing. Right now, Awkwafina, Stu is giving you a 4. I am giving you an 80. And Tristen, what are you giving Awkwafina?
A 6.
I prefer Dasani. Next question.
Plus 6 plus 80 divided by 2. Okay, so Awkwafina, you average out to a 30. So that's not great.
Generous.
All right. Next up, we have Black Panther 1. Stu gave this an 80. Tristen gave it an 89. And I'm the only white person on this podcast, so I gave it 100.
Good boy.
Nice. Wakanda forever.
I'm lying.
Wakanda
I gave
forever.
It Wakanda forever. I gave it an 87.
That's so good though.
Good.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I like it.
It's a really good movie.
Good villain.
Yeah.
I just think they shouldn't have killed off Killmonger. They should have just put him in jail and then have him for later, you know?
Yeah.
That's another movie with some serious CGI issues.
Yes. In the Underground Railroad. Yeah. It's so bad.
Yeah. Black guys fighting on the Underground Railroad and Black Panther is not the greatest use of CGI.
That scene was so ugly. It was so bad.
Like, yeah, that people point to that as a bad scene.
Mm-hmm.
But right after it, when Killmonger's dying, he's like, I always wanted to see the Wakandan sunset. And he takes him out to a CGI sunset. And I'm like, you guys couldn't find a cliff?
No,
what do you?
It's so sad.
It's just so on a green screen. It's because
the movie's like an A+ up until that part, and you're just like, oh.
There's some good stuff in it, and they dropped the ball on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
there's some floating head moments for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. Boy, don't get me started.
Next up at 85.73, we have Moon Knight, which
our first show, I think.
Yeah. I meant to take this out because I didn't want to cover the shows because I wasn't able to add all of them in time, but here we are. We're just going to go with what we have.
Yeah.
After that, we had Falcon and the Winter Soldier at an 86.
Another show. Okay.
Yep. I said I'm not going to take them out. So there's your shows. At 88.13, I feel like this is going to be divisive on the internet.
Guardians.
Captain America Civil War.
Oh. Wow. You guys ranked that higher than I thought you would.
That's low to me.
Really? That's higher than I thought Tomahawk would rate it.
I gave it an 89.4.
Wow.
Tristen gave it a 90. And Stu gave it the lowest rating at 85.
Yeah.
But on Stu's rating system, which is all over the place, and I can't get a read on it. I guess it's pretty good.
It's a pretty good movie. It's a pretty good movie. I just
solid.
have like a couple issues with it, like believability of like the team ups and the fighting. Like I understand that like this Tom Holland Spider-Man is very new to the superhero thing, but like Spider-Man should wipe the floor with Captain America.
I saw some people talking about that on Twitter, and they were saying that Spider-Man's new or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, what, 15?
He says in the movie he got his powers 3 months ago.
Yeah, he's new.
He's green.
Yeah.
But
like also that's like green enough where you're actually killing people with bricks, you know?
Yeah, true.
Like when he kicked Cap, like Cap should be like, my spine. Ow.
Yeah. I'm paralyzed.
Also, Civil War. That is the most like comic booky Spider-Man that Tom Holland has been able to be.
Yeah.
And I miss it. Whenever I sit down and watch Civil War, I'm like, oh yeah.
I would rework my rating if I can, because I probably did that one a little hasty.
Okay.
So I would probably give that like at least a 90. Honestly. So I'd bump it up to.
I'm not doing any more math.
No, that's fine.
I did more math than I ever thought I would.
Just want y'all to know that I probably misjudged that one or misrated that one.
All right. Next up, Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ranked Black Panther Wakanda Forever over Black Panther 1.
Correct.
Which I was kind of surprised by.
No, that's the correct thing. Because it's got just as much bad CGI as the first one.
I think CGI might be a little better in 2. It's got some wonky stuff in it, but I think Black Panther 1 has more wonky stuff.
But Black Panther 1 was wonky because they made like that scene where 2 people in Black Panther suits were looking wonky. In the second one, it was kind of just Ironheart that looked really bad.
Yeah, it's not a great design.
It's not great at all. Really bad.
I also think this movie is all the better just because they are forced to take their content seriously.
Mm.
And it's like, this is the most dramatic film that they have made in a very long time because can't make a lot of jokes in this, can you?
No, not after what happened. So they had to go very serious with it as much as they could. And they didn't, and I like that they didn't just be serious for the beginning where they did like the funeral and stuff like that. I mean, they went serious for most of the movie, especially with the queen dying and things like that. You're just like, wow. Did not see that coming at all.
When she's buried, her mom and M'Baku's like, they're having their moment, and he's like, "You're not a child anymore. I'm sorry that I was mean to you before."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah.
And because it is brutal. This girl has buried her entire family.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's
that
crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if I said
I
the
give
scores.
that movie a lot of props. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Also, I give the movie a lot of props for giving Namor his stupid little ankle wings. That's one of my favorite things in comics. It's one of the dumbest design choices that they could have made back then. And they went, you know what? We're just going to do it. And not only did they do it, they gave it a little rattlesnake sound effect.
They made it cool.
And he did look goofy using them either. Like it's a goofy premise, but like he was kind of like really dashing around. Like it looked like they were like really effective form of movement. Whereas like you could never imagine that they'd actually be like useful.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I think Shuri had like cut one of the wings off in a fight, and I was like, oh,
yeah, that looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
It's a heavy movie.
I need to watch it again.
After I watched it, I was like, I'm gonna need a while before I rewatch this, unlike a lot of these other Marvel things, which I can kind of rewatch.
I think it's time.
Too. But yeah, I think it is about time for it. All right, so next up, so Wakanda Forever was 88.36. This also was an 88.36. So
this has got to be our Guardians,
this
right?
This is Guardians 1.
Okay, I thought so. Interesting.
You gave it an 85. Tristen gave it a 90. I gave it a 90.1. After that, we have the TV show Loki, which Stu has not seen.
I did not see.
Every episode that we have recorded, like we've done a lot of test episodes for this show. Tristen and I will yell at Stu to watch Loki. So, Stu, watch Loki. What are you doing?
I get tired after work.
Come on, Stu. What are you doing?
I get eepy after work because I have to go to work and then go to school, and I get eepy.
What's more important, work or Loki?
Work.
What's more important, school or Loki?
Okay, that could probably be Loki then.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
And Loki is glad to hear it, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Loki, if you're watching, we love you.
Yeah. Please come on the show. Defend yourself.
Loki.
Say you're more important than work.
Yes.
All right. Next up, we have another Disney Plus show. Any guesses?
WandaVision.
It is WandaVision.
Yeah.
An 87.7. Stu gave it 92. Tristen gave it an 82, which I was like, oh, that's a big range.
Yeah.
And I gave it an 89.1.
Fair enough.
I love episodes 1 through 8. Episode 9 of WandaVision, I give them a lot of leeway because it is clear that COVID hit and they had to just kind of duct tape a bunch of stuff together and do their best. Because Darcy from Thor, she's like a pretty important character throughout the show. And then in the last episode, she is in one shot where she is completely by herself. And I'm like, oh, she got like whisked away because of COVID or something. Something happened here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they did the best of what they could.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have at 91 even Thor Ragnarok, which I am surprised this made it as high as it did.
I'm surprised it's as low as it is because we haven't done Guardians 2 yet. And I think that's a much better movie. I think this is much better than Guardians 2.
I may have missed Guardians 2. Again, I spent...
I understand.
Yeah,
you didn't have the most time in the world.
I was in a rush.
No, you're fine. Guardians 2 probably should have been like a while ago, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't love Guardians 2. I think it's kind of bad.
It's not great, but also I think it's like good. I think all the Guardians movies are good.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
It's definitely the weakest one.
It's definitely the weakest one. It has my favorite. It has one of my favorite endings though. Yondu's funeral is really, really something special.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Mary Poppins, y'all, is like the best line out of any MCU movie.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
some good stuff.
Yeah.
Also, the makeup and CGI for Kurt Russell when they de-aged him was great.
Yeah. It wasn't that uncanny valley, de-aging stuff. I feel like we're getting close to the end of the list.
We are getting close to the end of the list.
Okay.
We are in the 90s now.
Yeah.
So again, Ragnarok was at 91. I was surprised it made it that high. I gave it an 84. Stu gave it a 99, and Tristan gave it a 90.
I cannot find a single thing I don't like about the movie. But it's not like a perfect movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I thought about it I actually gave that some thought, and I'm just like, I can't think of a thing I don't like about it.
Yeah.
I don't love the sort of tonal whiplash that Taika Waititi does in his Thor movies.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, like there's only like a 3-point difference between my rating for Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder. To me, those movies are about the same.
That's insane thing to say. Good Lord.
I know that's a hot take on the
Hot
internet.
take.
I know,
Very hot take.
but
Some might say the incorrect take.
I walked out of Thor Ragnarok and was just like, it's okay. And I walked out of Thor Love and Thunder. I was like, that's exactly what I expected it to be.
Mm.
It's crazy.
To me, it's like basically they were like, okay, how do we make Thor not boring? Right? And so they made him funny in Ragnarok. And then in Love and Thunder, they dialed that up to like 1,000.
Yeah.
And made him basically just a frat bro.
And it did not.
And I was
work.
like, yeah, this is not, y'all went too far.
Yeah.
Because in Ragnarok and in Infinity War and Endgame, well, Infinity War, because he's fat in Endgame, he has like the perfect balance of like comedy and seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
But in Love and Thunder, he's just like a man child.
Yeah. It's like all the trauma from Infinity War and Endgame was just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like none of those events had a lasting effect on him as a character or a person.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
I have a lot of critiques for Thor Love and Thunder.
Oh, I'm sure.
I feel like this is somehow going to be misconstrued into that, like, oh, I loved this movie. But yeah, I just think Thor Ragnarok is really overrated.
Wow. Crazy.
All right. Next up at 92.1, we have Marvel's The Avengers. Stu gave it a 95. Tristan gave it a 92. And I gave it an 89.3.
Wow.
This is one of them that I went back and forth a while between, like, do I give this an 89 or a 90? Most of my movies live in the 80s.
So this is the Marvels?
No,
the
Avengers.
Oh, I thought I said Marvels for some reason.
I said
we did that
Marvel's
one a while
The
ago.
Avengers.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why he said that, but
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I said that because there's a different movie called The Avengers, and it's technically called Marvel's The Avengers.
Oh.
Anyway, putting that aside.
Yeah. This is probably, in my opinion, the greatest popcorn movie of all time.
Mm.
You're not wrong.
Like, it's just dumb fun all the way through.
Yeah, it gives you the satisfaction of seeing, Iron Man, Cap, and Thor go at it, like your big three of the first phase.
Yep.
They get their own go at it, and then you get to go at it with Hulk, and then they did that again in Avengers 2.
Yep.
But like, yeah, I think the only thing I didn't like about the phase 1 was like they were Avengers was like they were really focused on like Loki being like the big bad. I'm like, that's a weird one to pick, but sure.
He's the first villain the Avengers ever fought in the comics.
That's fine. That's fine with me. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Do you guys remember how many times you saw Avengers 1 in the theaters?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
I cannot.
How many?
That was a
many?
lot.
Once.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, really? Dude, I saw it like it may have been 4 times.
It was at least 3 times for me.
Yeah.
Guardians 1 was the first movie that I ever saw more than once in theaters.
Wow.
Mm.
And then I went and worked at a movie theater, and then I've lost track of a lot of the other ones that I saw during that time.
Yeah.
But
I can't tell you how many times I've seen the last 5 minutes of The Desolation of Smaug because of how good that is. Smaug, because of how good that ending is. That ending is so good.
Mm.
I would shirk my responsibilities just to sit in that theater for 10 minutes while I watch the end.
right,
You'll be like, where are we? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
we're in the end game now. It's
All
in
right.
game at 93.06.
All right.
We
gotta hurry.
I'm
getting
rushing.
neepy.
Stu gave it a 97. Tristen gave it a 92. I gave it a 90.2.
Which one was this again?
End game,
Interesting. Okay.
which it's pretty good.
Mhm.
I think it's a good movie.
Yeah, I think I was satisfied with the payoff from the past 15 years. I was like, not 15, but 10 and some change. Like I was very satisfied with that payoff.
It falters in parts as a movie, but it succeeds pretty much the whole way through as like a sort of finale.
Yeah, to a 10-year-old story, you're just like, that's what I wanted. To see every piece of the puzzle line up and be present in the finale. Perfect.
Yep.
Mm.
Pretty good stuff.
The only thing I don't like about this movie is Anthony Mackie's beard. I hate it so much.
That's a very mild thing. What rating did you give it again?
It's a 90 something.
92.
You took off 8 points for that beard?
That beard. It's just, dude, it was so bad they had to back when he got his own movie.
Oh my god.
Go back and look at it. I promise.
I refuse.
It's rough.
I know the things that I don't like about it are probably going to be sort of more well trod in terms of the internet. I don't have a take as hot as that. The Captain America time travel stuff doesn't really make any sense. That's one of my big issues with it. Was just like, oh, the movie's over and we need to make sure that Steve Rogers' story's done now. It's like kind of felt kind of tacked on. But good movie.
He didn't stop 9/11.
He didn't stop 9/11.
He didn't stop it. he let it happen again.
Oh my god.
At the risk of derailing us. Do we know that 9/11 happened?
Do you see the World Trade Center in any of the movies? Because I sure don't.
This is true.
Yeah, but it might not have been built.
Why wouldn't it?
It's a different universe. I don't know what to tell you.
Why wouldn't it be? Okay, anyway, next movie.
Okay. I'm surprised this made it over Endgame. This is Spider-Man No Way Home.
I'm a little surprised it's over too.
I'm not really surprised.
Stu gave it a 95. Tristen gave it a 95. I gave it a 90.
Yeah, I mean it's solid. It's good.
Compared to Endgame, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I will say it suffers from, I don't know what you would call it, but watching it at home doesn't hit the same as in the theater. Like, for example, there's weird timing moments. Like, when Toby and Andrew come through their portals, there's like a pause for people to like applause and like, oh, but when you watch it at home, there's like, you're just sitting there and it's like a awkward silence.
Well, you're supposed to clap. That's right. On you. That's on you, honestly.
Oh, even at the TV. Yeah.
They put that in there for you to clap. That's on you, man.
Sorry, my bad. I'll do that.
I've seen this as a common complaint, and honestly, it just doesn't affect me like that. I'm like, yeah, this is fine. Especially with the Andrew one. It's like the characters are reacting in a weird way where they're like, it's not just him like
Peter.
He's not just like standing there like it's like an episode of Family Matters or Full House where a character enters the room and the crowd applauds.
Yeah,
right.
Like characters are still moving around. I like Endgame more than this one, mostly just because this was shot during COVID and it looks like they shot it in a closet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, 2 of the villains aren't even there.
Yeah. But this also, again, had like a sort
yeah.
of Herculean task in being any good at all.
Mhm.
And any movie that has like a sort of bittersweet ending, I'm going to be more kind toward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Aunt May dying was
A surprise
ballsy.
to be sure,
Yeah.
but a
Yeah.
welcome one.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had remembered about the lizard and Sandman just not being in the film at all, I probably would have rated it lower than I did. Not gonna lie.
Also,
I forgot about that.
they reused scenes from other movies.
Yeah.
They did.
Yep.
They did.
Which was crazy.
And I hated that. I'm
Yeah,
changing
I
it.
did
It's
too.
getting a 60.
I noticed that in the theater, like, because I've seen the old movies so many times. When I was watching it, I was like, "Did they just do what I think they did?"
They just
I was
ripped
like,
it. Like, and it's weird that they had permission to do it too. You know?
Yeah.
What do you mean permission?
Well, like, wouldn't it?
It's a Sony
different
movie
thing.
Huh?
It's a Sony movie.
But okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I guess that checks out.
I guess
That's Sony using their own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more.
Okay.
Deadpool,
sorry.
Wolverine.
Can I say one more thing about No Way Home real quick?
Sure.
No, you cannot.
Okay,
we have
that's
to
cool.
go.
All right.
We have to go to bed. I'm EP.
Tristan, you got 3 seconds to say it.
Jamie Foxx was just directed to be black.
Okay, next movie.
He needed to be directed for that, I guess. Deadpool and Wolverine has the exact same score as No Way Home, 93.33. Stu gave it 97. I gave it a 90, and Tristan gave it a 93. So,
Okay.
pretty
Nice.
good movie. I think
Good
it's
movie.
about as well as good as No Way Home.
Mhm.
All right. This is another one that surprised me. This is Guardians 3 at 94.03.
That's so low.
I
You think so?
don't think this movie's that good.
What are you talking about? This is the best movie I have ever. No, that's a lie. But this is like the best MCU movie I've ever seen.
Really?
I cannot get enough of this movie.
Okay,
I was in tears at I cried at this movie. No other movie,
I did too.
No other
I did
movie
too.
made me. Yeah, even Iron Man dying didn't make me cry because
Dude, I cried like a
they only
baby.
took it so serious. I cried like a little baby when at the end of the movie they were playing the song and they were going into all the stuff with like throughout the whole movie I was getting sad because of how bad Rocket was treated and like looking into all of his friends dying and how he has his new family. I was in tears. This movie's perfect. It's 100%.
James Gunn knows exactly how to make you laugh.
I gave this movie an 88.
An 88? That's so low.
88.1 specifically. So it's a little higher than an 88. It's okay. It's pretty good.
What did I give it?
You gave
90?
it a 94.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but I didn't love it.
It's a perfect movie.
I think the Guardians' decision to break up at the end and go their separate ways feels a little tacked on, and I don't think the rest of the movie supports it.
I disagree. Anyway, next movie.
Like, if it wasn't in the marketing, it was like one last ride kind of marketing, it would have been a big surprise to everybody that they were just like, wait, what? Why are we breaking up? But all right.
Was it? Anyway.
Anyway, we're in our top 3, everybody. Top 3. Top 3.
Top 3.
95.3. Iron Man.
Yeah, good movie. Really
Stu
good.
gave
Great
this a
movie.
95. Tristan, you gave this a 100. Is this the only one you gave 100 to?
Probably.
And I gave this a 91.
That seems
I
low.
love this movie.
Okay,
Me too.
fair enough.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
That's in my top 5. It might be in my top 3. So after that, we have Captain America, the Winter Soldier at 95.6. Stu gave this a 97. Tristen gave this a 95. And I gave this a 95.
Nice.
Cool.
This is one of the
Good
movies
stuff.
that
Good
changed
eats.
my life. It changed how I thought about morality at the time. Because at the time, especially, I was like, I was used to seeing people kind of fight for what they believe in. Like that's a very common thing in movies. But at that point, I had never seen a character that was just like, I'm willing to just kind of be beat up and willing to die for this and like stop fighting. Just like, go ahead, do what you want to do, Buck. And like that really struck a chord with me.
I'm built different. I would have just knocked him out, you know?
All right. And finally, our number one spot. The favorite movie of this podcast in the MCU is Avengers Infinity War. Stu gave this a 99. Kristen gave this a 95. And I gave this a 97.
Nice.
I love this movie. This is the type of movie that can only exist in this kind of franchise. There's nothing else that comes close to feeling like Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like the closest thing is probably Empire Strikes Back, but that feels like it's 100 miles away.
Yeah.
Why is Gamora?
Why is Gamora?
I think what really sold me on it was the failure of the team.
100%.
When that happened, I was immediately just sold on the entire experience. Like if I wasn't before, I wasn't then, I was probably already sold on it. You know, it was probably around the time they were making Stormbringer. Like I thought that scene itself was so cool. The giant what's his name?
Petrie.
What's his name?
Yeah. Like
the short person.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, yes. The giant Peter Dinklage I thought was so funny. He was it was very great.
I like him doing a big man voice.
I liked him doing the big man voice. But no, I liked it was like again, like the character, how they built Thor from Ragnarok on, and then just jumped it all away with Love and Thunder. Because in Infinity War, I mean, he literally was like, if I will die to make this weapon to kill Thanos. Like if I die making it dead. So what? Because I have to do this. And he was willing to sacrifice everything just for that chance to have the edge. I'm like, Thor until now would never have done that. And I liked it a lot.
There's a Nando v Movies video, I'm pretty sure, where he's talking about like something that could make that moment more impactful is like the loss of a character. And he basically pitched that instead of Thor like risking his life and surviving, it should have been Drax the Destroyer risking his life and dying to give Thor the opportunity to defeat Thanos. And that's also sort of settles Drax's arc of wanting to kill Thanos and then never getting the opportunity to. But yeah, again, I know we missed stuff. I'm sorry. There was a limited amount of time.
I had to go to bed. I'm eepy.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that in the future we are going to do a cumulative Marvel list that will include the Fox X-Men films. It will include everything, all the Marvel stuff.
Spoiler alert: Spider-Man 2 is going to be the top of the list.
Yeah,
is the best movie ever.
That's not even my favorite movie in that trilogy.
That's not true. You're lying to yourself.
I'm not.
You're lying to yourself.
I'm not.
When's the last time you watched 1 and 2? And you better not say 3 is your favorite, because I'm quitting the show.
It's been a while.
I'm quitting the show.
Spider-Man 1 is my favorite. I just
we can argue that on a different date.
Yeah, I love Green Goblin that much.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening to our inaugural episode. Please follow us at the places. There's probably social media websites that are out there.
Yeah.
And if they are out there, there is a possibility that our show is on there. And you should follow us on those social media websites. Maybe it'll be at Hero Huddle. I haven't checked. I haven't made any of the accounts yet. I haven't made an email. We'll see. Stu, is there anything that you want to plug? Where can the people find you?
You can find me. I am featured on a lot of videos on Clunkhouse on YouTube. We do a lot of gaming stuff and we have a lot of fun together. Hopefully there's going to be a repo video coming out soon with me in it. So yeah.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Tristen, it's your turn. Where can the people find you?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at TAJVUE. I take pictures and I put them on there. So go check them out.
Nice.
And you can find me at Tomahawk Presents on the platforms that I am on. Hopefully there'll be links in the description.
Probably not.
I'm making podcasts and I'm working on a movie, and hopefully I can, put some stuff out there and you can sort of see the process.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you again so very much. If you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, I'm sorry.
Maybe it's better next week. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe
we promise.
Just stay tuned.
Next week will be better, where we do this same concept, but we do it with all the DC movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can't wait for that one. It'll be a lot of stinkers in there.
Oh, it's going to be so stinky. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
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 Wakanda forever.